Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Brent Bridgman and you're watching the JFL Boat Build Series Part 2 right here. Check it out. The outside of the building is getting a facelift. Let's go here in the shade. We got an air compressor getting delivered any minute, and then when it gets here I'm gonna have to unload it. In fact, I think that might be it right now. So anyway, let me unload this air compressor. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so we have everything lined out for the front dash, for the front bow. So let me show what we're gonna do here in a time lapse. Okay, so you guys saw the time lapse. What we did is we laid down the chop strand first, then we laid the pajama material on top, and then we rolled it out, and then it gives us a nice smooth surface. And then this can be sanded and primed. This is setting up now. It's got some heat to it. You want to be careful not to build up too much heat in these things. But anyhow, now this front dash piece will be nice and strong. But yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, so for some reason we had some audio issues, but what I wanted to do, and I didn't cover on this dash piece, was you want to layer the packing tape on the actual countertop before you lay the part down. Once you lay the part down, make sure that your part is covered with, in this case, masking tape, and then I put the packing tape on the outside of the masking tape. And what that does is it makes it so you can pull the part away from your part, like here. It doesn't matter what the back looks like, it matters what the front looks like. So when you do the chop strand mat and then lay the pajama material over it, it gives it a nice smooth look like this. This is the console dash piece that I made yesterday. And then you guys watched me just now do the front. This is the front dash piece for the bow. And then I'll trim the outside of this. But what we're getting ready to do here, let me show you this dash piece. We did a little bit of trimming, and let me zoom this out so you can see better. But see how smooth it is? And then we're gonna make it fit perfect. We're gonna pull the dash out of here in a little bit. And this is what it's gonna look like when you pull it away from that part. And it's real strong. It's lighter than the plastic piece that was up front, plus the plastic piece, well, it's 2005, so it's a 20-year-old piece and it was cracking, where this fiberglass will have some rigidity, especially when we cover it with gel coat and then we cut it back. And then we're gonna reinforce the back so we can bolt it down to the nose, so it'll be not just sturdy, but it'll have bracing to attach to the front nose, because that big heavy dual mount, this solid aluminum, mounts to this piece and holds both grafts up front. So if you get in rough water, you want to make sure that it's not going to bounce off or break or pull off with all that weight up on the front. So anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to pull out this dash piece, and then we'll do some trimming around the steering column. But all I did is this dash was broken in half, so we're going to try and pull it out of here. Like I said, this is covered with packing tape, and so we're just going to try and pull it away from itself. I should have pulled this yesterday when it was fresh, but I wanted to leave it on here as long as I could to keep the form, because as your fiberglass cures, it could warp. So I didn't want this major dash piece to warp. So anyway, what I'm doing here is trying to pull away the outside fiberglass, and once you get it started and you get some air under it, it'll pop right out. Now you could go as far as using a wax or something like that, but you don't have to with the packing tape. It's so smooth, as you can see here. Once you get it started, you can just pull it up and it's going to hold, like that steering column inset hole is holding on for dear life. And then once it pops loose, then it comes right out. So you just got it. And this dash piece was all broke to pieces. I used popsicle sticks. I used extra tape and everything to give me the foundation to build a new dash on top of it. And now the fiberglass dash is a little larger than this dash, but I'm changing the entire configuration of the dash. So no one's going to make the difference between a 1/4 inch difference in the dash panel itself. So now we've got a flat dash panel, and I'll pull all this tape off of here, clean up the backside, and then we're going to fit it on the console and see how it looks, see how it fits on there. And we got a lot of trimming to do, and we also have to trim the dash in area, but we'll make sure it fits perfectly together. And then the piece I'm working on right here on the tabletop, on this countertop, is actually a recessed mount for both graphs. So I'm going to have two 15-inch graphs at the console, and I'm doing a recessed, so when that mount is sitting in that rectangular shape, it'll be flush. But it also adds rigidity to the console itself. So I'll show you that later on in the video. But if the video goes too far, we might have to do a part 3, but we'll figure that out. So we're going over here to the console itself, and we're going to set this on the console. Now, mind you, none of this has been sanded. Nothing's been relieved to make it fit. I'm just seeing if it'll kind of fit. And then I go to put it on, and it like snaps right on, and it looks phenomenal. And remember, we cut the top of this console. We cut this whole console off, but look at how well this fits. It's just insane, the nice fit already without doing any trimming whatsoever. Now, I did this transition period because, remember, we moved that console forward 8 inches and up 3 inches. So we had a big square, and now we have a nice round flowing edge, and we'll continue that. And I already started the framing on the console, and this is all done with those wooden dowels that I mentioned in the last episode. So once we get that going, and look how sturdy it is already, and that's just using a hot glue gun and a few points of resin. So the 4 pegs in the front were sunk, countersunk with a drill bit, and then I used resin to stick the dowels into the bed of resin that we had already laid there. But anyway, we're going to make this dash fit, and I just wanted to add this audio because for some reason the other audio was not as good. And I think we just had the microphones off, so I apologize in advance. I'll make sure that I pay closer attention. So the piece on the table that we're going to start next is going to go right up here by my right hand, and it's going to be flat. And it goes back about 4 inches, and then the meters will sit on that top of that dash where my hand is. So let's get into that, and I'll show you how we get that, and we'll do a time lapse on that. So it won't be so long, it won't be so boring. You can use a hot glue gun to hold these bars, and look how strong that is. Like, I'm tugging on that pretty good. So this will get fiberglass across the front and then down this cubby hole, and then it'll be down in here as well. So we'll run the fiberglass down to this edge, and then this will all be done with pajama material. Then when we pull this console out to do the final, when we do that, see, if you put packing tape underneath, you can use it as a reservoir. So when you're doing the hot glue gun, it just holds that. Now, these wooden dowels will get fiberglass from the backside after we get the front. So we'll do the front first, but if you look at this, it's taking on some cool shape, just like the new Rangers. I know you can't make much out of that, but anyhow, when we get done, that piece that I'm making will sit right under there, right? And it'll be flat across there. So I'm gonna trim out the dash after we get that piece mounted. But anyway, the dash is looking good. I'm glad you guys got to see how that went down. But now we got a nice dash, and not only that, it's flowing. You see what I'm saying? It flows nice. Actually, let me put that where it fits. I moved it by accident. So it fits about right there. This is still with no trimming done at all to this piece. This piece is going to get sanded. This piece will be smoothed out so it fits this perfectly. And now, like, the transition here, this transition is going to be nice and smooth. Then when this is red metal flake like the boat, you know, we're doing the cap too, so we'll do this at the same time. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So let me know in the comments if you guys think that I should offer the dash, the console, the front dash, and the seat pan as a kit, so you can change your Z20 and Z21 and Z22 into the 2025 seats with a dash that fits you more comfortably and a front piece that'll actually hold the weight of meters. Let me know in the comments. All right, well, it's been a really itchy, long day, but we're gonna finish it off by making a pocket for the 2 meters that go on the driver's console. So what I have under here, it's a solid piece of aluminum and it's made by Boatworks. But I'm going to use it as a template to make a pocket on the top of the console. So while we're here, we're also going to use this round dowel. This is 5/8, and it's going to be a major support, and then it'll connect to the console when I fiberglass from underneath. So this will add structure to the fiberglass piece that will connect it to the framing. So when the meters are on this, it's not going to be vibrating and shaking all around, because this will keep it rigid. Not to mention, this will be fiberglassed into the pocket. This pocket will be fiberglassed into the console, and the console will be backed. So after we get the console done, we're going to flip it over, fiberglass underneath from the back side, so this will all be one big unit. All right, so what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to cut this dowel, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So cut both ends off there with the cutoff wheel. Obviously the wood got pretty hot, but anyway, now the dowel will fit here and here. And then, so once we fiberglass this, then I'll wrap it with, that's why I have all of this just laying out right now. It's because once we get this all glassed in, then I will do this accordingly. So, all right, let's get ready to mix some resin. And we might have to actually go pick up some more resin. So let's see how far we get. But we might have to pick up some more resin. That's going to be interesting. All right, mixer stick. Mix it stick. So as you can see, so let's move this chair. I already cut out this piece and then a support underneath that piece. So that'll lay on there after it's wet. Then we'll lay down the dowel. All right, so let's pour some resin out of here. Yeah, we're absolutely going to have to pick up some more resin. So what we'll do is we'll go pick up some more resin after this, but right now we're just going to do this piece without the dowel. When we come back with the second batch of resin, then we'll do that other piece. So, all right, so let's move this stuff back. All right, let's get some hardener. All right, use our stir stick. Make sure you get it good. Make sure you get the bottom and off all the sides. All right. All right. I'm just going to lay this down here like that. We're going to use this brush we were using earlier. See, it gets a little more stiff. It's better when they're more stiff. See how soft they are when they're fresh? Too soft. So after you get one batch, after you put it through the... All right, here we go. Let's cover this. All right, so we're just going to cover it. We're going to try and keep it small even though we're going about 1 inch out on each side. All right. So run 1 inch. Boom. That looks like 1 inch to me. You can go out the whole width of the brush because we're actually going to come outside here with the resin. All right. All right. Here we go. Is take this dowel. I'm going to lay this dowel right in the middle. Right in the middle. That's going to add strength. And so I've got these straps. Because if you're not comfortable in the boat, you're gonna fix and have a bad day. So, not only that, there's some kind of satisfaction in taking a perfectly good boat, because technically the only thing that was wrong with this boat was the transom. I could have easily just thrown it together and been fishing already. And most people will be fine with that. But I'm like, I'm here already, right? I'm here already. Let's make it comfortable. Let's make it fishable. Let's just make it badass, you know? And that's how I was looking at it, is when I get done, it's not only going to be comfortable, but it's going to look cool. It's going to go fast, as fast as Ranger will go. But I'm not going to run very much tackle in this thing. I'm not running, I don't like to run any power poles because it's just not, I could do the old school fishing, the same thing you could do with a power pole. You just got to be a little more on the trolling motor, which is fine. And there's a couple secrets to bed fishing that a lot of people miss, and I'm not going to give it away, that's for sure. But anyway, a lot of people use power poles to bed fish, and that's definitely a way to do it. It's just not my way to do it. So, but anyway, I don't knock anybody that is doing it, because you're fishing and I'm not, right? All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm cleaning up the edge and making sure there's a lip, right? A lot of times I'll take this popsicle stick and just push it in. What we're doing is we're just running that resin, making sure there's a ridge for us to see. We built a ridge here. So as I come down there like that, then I take this and I brush it back so we have a lip, because we want a lip to attach this to the console. That'll be one of the next things we do on the console. So looks like we got a nice lip. We're just pushing it. Here, I got the cup in the way again, don't I? We're just pushing that resin back and folding it over. And you can only do that when it's getting ready to set up.
because it'll actually hold it. But you got to get the air out of it. So we're pushing that rib back, and then we're folding it on top of each other, and we're dampening the air out of it, right? But it's giving us a definite lip, so when we attach it to the console, we've got a solid lip to adhere to. All right, it's getting a little bit too much setup, but we got this lip. This one back here has got plenty. This back here's got plenty. Yeah, more than enough back here. Plenty back there. Plenty right there. We're good. So we got it all the way around, and just keep, as long as it'll keep letting you work it, just keep working. Get them air bubbles out of there, because if you have an air bubble, there's a way it could fail at some point. But if you just get the air bubbles out, and you kind of want to make sure there's nothing, no, I call them stickers. Because once this dries and you've got a sharp needle hanging out, it will get you, it'll poke a hole in you, and it will hurt like a bee sting. And it's not good. But anyway, so keep tapping around the edge. So we get done now, we'll have a pocket, and this piece will mount up top on the console. And this aluminum piece, when we go to mount the meters, will now have a pocket in the top of that console that will accept this to hold the 2 meter brackets. And this will be the base for the meter brackets. So this piece was already existing on the boat, but it was flimsy, was shaking around. But it's definitely a different approach. But just like making the boat fit me, now I made the boat fit the meter mount. So, boat works. You're welcome. I'll have to send them a video. I'll have to send them a video of this. Maybe they can get me some more likes. While we're at it, subscribing is free. So if you reach right over there and subscribe to my channel, it shows that 98% of you are not subscribed to my channel, which blows me away. I don't understand that. But anyway, I'd appreciate the subscriptions. Like I said, they call it subscribing, but it's free. And I will never charge. As you notice, I don't have commercials on my page. I get so irritated with commercials. I'll be so heavy into watching something, especially like a do-it-yourself thing like this, where I'm missing parts. Okay, see where when it starts sticking to itself like this, that's when you want to stop, because it's done. And then I take the acetone, pour it in this cup, and then we're going to put the brush in here, swish it around. It's better if you wear gloves. But anyway, I'm trying to get the actual, I don't know why bugs want to fly around my face when I'm trying to clean my hands. Anyway, paper towels. Viva paper towels work amazing with fiberglass. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Brent Bridgman. You're watching the JFL Boat Build Series, and I'll see you guys next week.